Hey there guys, welcome back to Xbox On. Henry and Charlie here with your latest monthly roundup. September has been a truly massive month for Xbox, so no one could blame you for missing a thing or two. Luckily, we're here with a whistle-stop tour of all the biggest news, releases and Xbox Game Pass additions that have hit in the past 4 and a bit weeks. It's a big one, so strap in.
September has truly been the month of next gen. Okay, not as much as November's going to be when we can actually finally get our hands on them and start playing, but well, let's put it this way, back at the start of September, we didn't even know that the Xbox Series S existed. The console was officially unveiled on the 8th with the bombshell that it just cost only £249.99, or $299 in the US, or €299.99 euros. However you slice it, this is an amazingly cheap deal for a next-gen console, and that's just one of the very many ways that the Xbox Series S is just a wee little bit of a marvel. It's packing 4 times the processing power of an Xbox One, enough to deliver silky smooth 120 frames per second gaming, along with 512GB of SSD storage, so those games will load faster than ever before. And expect to be giving that storage a hammering because the Series S is an all-digital console, making it the perfect companion for Xbox Game Pass. And because it doesn't need to find room for a disc, this is the smallest Xbox ever as well, condensing true next-gen performance into a compact robot white casing that won't only fit neatly under your telly, but can be chucked in a bag to take to a friend's house or to the office or, well, really anywhere you can find with power, internet, and a TV or monitor, I guess. Alongside this reveal, we finally got the release date we've all been waiting for. The next generation is arriving on the 10th of November, with the Xbox Series S and X both coming out on that day across the entire world. So make sure you've got it marked on the calendar wherever you're watching this from. And we also got a prize for the Xbox Series X, £449.99, which gets you the fastest, most powerful Xbox ever, with 4K gaming at up to 120 frames per second, 1TB of storage, and a Blu-ray player drive for any physical media fans. Whew, that's a lot, isn't it?
Of course, those prices are if you're buying the console up front, but there is another option, isn't there, Charlie? And it's the cheapest way to get yourself a next-gen machine and a constant supply of games. Xbox All Access. This is a 2-year pay monthly contract bundling together your console of choice with an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription, and it actually works out as the cheapest way of getting both. For an Xbox Series S, you're looking at a monthly payment of £20.99. For a Series X, it's £28.99. Provided you're able to make the monthly financial commitment, this deal makes jumping into the next gen even more accessible than ever before. There's a reason it's called Xbox All Access, I guess. Whether you're opting for All Access or a straight-up standalone purchase, maybe you've already got your console secured as Xbox Series X and S pre-orders opened on the 22nd of September. Naturally, this first batch of pre-orders flew off the shelves, so kudos if you managed to grab one in time. And if you're still on the hunt, good luck. Let us know down in the comments how you get on. We also got a peek at the launch lineup of accessories, including a rather lovely shock blue controller featuring the new improved ergonomic design, textured grips, and of course, that all-important share button, all in eye-catching blue. And if you're already thinking about a bit of extra room for all those lovely next-gen games, we got all the deets on the Xbox Series S and X storage expansion card. Made in partnership with Seagate, this offers a full terabyte of storage using the Xbox Velocity Architecture API to deliver all of the same ultra-speedy performance you'll get from the internal SSD. But even if you're sticking with the current gen consoles for now, September had plenty of good news, especially if you're an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber. The service has already offered 2 libraries of games for console and PC, but on the 15th it took the leap onto mobile too, with the beta launch of Xbox Cloud Gaming. This gives you access to over 150 Xbox quality games that you can play on Android phones and tablets. So if you've ever fancied a bit of The Witcher 3 on the bus, or gathering your whole Destiny 2 crew so you can do a raid while sat in the same room, now you can, all as part of your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate membership.
That's not the only way Xbox Game Pass grew this month either, thanks to the announcement that EA Play is coming to the service later this year. Xbox Game Pass and PC subscribers will get full access to over 60 EA hits, from The Sims to Titanfall, plus 10-hour trials of the very newest games. plus all the other discounts and perks you'd normally get with an EA Play membership. And you'll also be able to play some of these EA games on your phone thanks to cloud gaming. Not a bad combo indeed. You'll be able to take advantage of this new addition to console on November 10th and at some point in December if you're on PC. September also brought Season 6 of Call of Duty Warzone, plus the reveal of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War coming on the 13th of November, the very same week as Xbox Series S and X. There was also the news that CD Projekt Red is working on a next-gen version of The Witcher 3, bringing ray tracing and ultra-fast loading times to its already stunning world. And closer to home, we took part in a week of charity streams to raise money for Stand Up to Cancer UK over on our Twitch channel. As part of their Game On campaign, we were joined by the likes of the Two Angry Gamers, CBK, Jane from Outside Xbox, and Gargod, to name just a few. Thanks to everyone that donated and got involved in such an important cause, giving us a whopping total of over £5,000 to donate. Even Master Chief got involved in the campaign, you know?
People need heroes and hope. Make your next game count. Stand up to cancer. Game on.
But there is one final bit of news we probably should mention because it was a huge surprise when it landed. That's Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda's parent company ZeniMax Media. Basically, that means that the Skyrim and Fallout dev is joining the Xbox Game Studios lineup, along with 7 of its sister studios, and increasing the overall lineup from 15 creative studios to 23. That includes Arcane, who you probably know as a developer of Dishonored, Machine Games, aka the ones who resurrected Wolfenstein, and id, who revolutionized shooters in the 90s with games like Doom, Wolfenstein, and Quake, and are still ripping and tearing today. Looking ahead, this means you can expect some of your favorite franchises on Xbox Game Pass, with Microsoft's intent to bring Bethesda's future games onto the service the same day they launch on Xbox or PC. Like Starfield, the highly anticipated new space epic currently in development by Bethesda Game Studios. And even now, for example, with a little game called Doom Eternal, which is arriving for console on the 1st of October, for all your demon-slaying, Mars-roving, BFG blasting needs.
Whoa, what about the games that came to Game Pass this month? Well, it's been another bumper crop, including a bit of a Bungie spectacular with Halo 3 ODST joining the Master Chief Collection on PC and the arrival of Destiny 2. That's the full galaxy-spanning game, including the Shadowkeep and Forsaken expansions, and when Beyond Light arrives in November, it'll come straight to Game Pass too, including the next-gen optimized for Series S and X version of the game. And with Halloween just around the corner, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard brought the scares to the library on September 3rd with its first-person reinvention of the survival horror classic. This latest installment drops you into a swamp with a family of supernatural serial killers and challenges you to get out alive. And ideally without screaming the house down in the process. Good luck.
Slightly less scary, at least for anyone who doesn't have a phobia of giant rats, is Warhammer Vermintide 2. Set in the beloved fantasy battle universe, this has you teaming up with 3 friends as a squad of elves, dwarfs, and pyromaniac wizards to fight your way through hundreds and thousands of Skaven, Warhammer's army of twitchy-nosed sorcerers and giant rodent ogres. And if you're in the very specific mood for stories about people going back to their childhood homes to reflect on past trauma and the passage of time, well, we do have the pairing for you too. The 2nd and 3rd chapters of Tell Me Why arrive straight on Game Pass, bringing the story of the Ronan twins to an emotional climax. And indie darling Night in the Woods also join the library with a town full of quirky animal characters for you to discover and befriend. And all of the games, I'm saying and a lot, we've just mentioned are playable on Android too. We said that at the top that September was all about next gen, but maybe it's really been the month of Game Pass.
Of course, not every game is available through Xbox Game Pass, and September has also seen some great new releases, such as the old-school shredding thrills of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. This is a remaster of the first 2 games in this iconic skateboarding series, taking all the pros, levels, and tricks you remember and giving them the HD treatment. Don't even get me started on the soundtrack. It had all the classics from the original games, but I was pleasantly surprised to see some new bangers from people such as Skepta. If you prefer your transport with slightly larger wheels, there's also WRC 9. The official game of the World Rally Championships is back, whisking you away to Kenya, New Zealand, and Japan as well as rally locations you might know from previous games. On top of all that and the new driving model, there's a very cool co-op mode on its way to the game later this year, where a friend gets to play as your co-driver. Perfect for anyone who misses bickering over directions on a road trip. Meanwhile, NBA 2K21 brought the most authentic, most precise and, above all, sweatiest basketball game yet. No, seriously, that's one of the new features, realistic sweat. There's also a larger presence from the WNBA, a whole new My Career campaign that takes your player from high school to the national leagues, and a pro stick shooting option that'll let you land those tricky three-pointers. And if you opt for the Mamba Forever Edition, and that's the one with Kobe Bryant on the front, it comes with a free next-gen upgrade when the game arrives on Xbox Series X and S.
Or how about Marvel Avengers, the blockbuster smash assembling Iron Man, Thor, and the rest of Earth's mightiest heroes for an epic single-player campaign and Hulk-sized multiplayer. If your favourite hero isn't here just yet, don't worry too much, because more are going to be added all the time, starting with a free update next month that introduces Kate Bishop, the archery-themed Avenger known as Hawkeye. And then, in November, Hawkeye, or at least the Clint Barton one, aka Hawkeye. All the bow and arrow base heroes you could ever dream of. For anyone who prefers operating on the other side of the law though, there's Mafia Definitive Edition. This remake of the cult classic realizes all the cinematic hopes and dreams of the 2002 original with the help of some truly 2020 tech. If you've ever played the original, prepare to be amazed by the reimagined version of Lost Haven, the Chicago-ish open world setting. And if you're yet to join the family, then you'll get to be surprised at all the twists and turns of its brilliant story. In other words, it's an offer you can't refuse.
Speaking of unrefusable offers, September brought another batch of games with gold, the titles you get absolutely free with an Xbox Live Gold or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. Leading the charge and available to loot all month long was Tom Clancy's The Division. Did you manage to grab it before it headed into the Dark Zone on the 30th of September? Also on the slate this month, we had Armed and Dangerous, an OG Xbox classic, which offers a slightly less realistic take on the third-person shooter with things like Vindaloo guns and Landshark launchers. You could also indulge your inner artiste with the gooey platforming adventure De Blob 2, where you need to paint the world in order to save it from the forces of literal darkness, and treat yourself to a good laugh with The Book of Unwritten Tales 2, an adventure game spoof of classic fantasy tropes. That last one's still available, by the way, until the 15th of October, so you can still grab it and check out the October Games with Gold selection while you're at it.
Which brings us to the end of another massive month for Xbox, and well, the start of another one as well. We'll be back with our look at all the hottest releases coming in October, so make sure you've subscribed to the channel. And then as long as you've hit that notification bell, you'll know as soon as the next video's up. We'll see you next time, but for now, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!